never believed in haunted houses, but the summer I stayed at my uncle's countryside home changed everything. The house was old, built of weathered wood and stone, with creaking floors and a roof that groaned in the wind. My uncle warned me not to go into the room above the garage. "Just storage," he said, "nothing worth seeing." But he looked uneasy, as if the words themselves were a lie. Curiosity is a dangerous thing. That first night, I couldn't sleep. The moonlight spilling through my window revealed shadows moving across the walls. Then I heard it, a faint scratching sound, high-pitched, deliberate, coming from above the garage. I froze, telling myself it was just the old house settling. The next evening, I climbed the narrow staircase leading to the forbidden room. The door was locked, but an old key hung on a rusty nail nearby. My hand shook as I turned it in the lock. The air that poured out smelled of damp earth and something metallic like blood. Inside, the room was almost empty. Dust covered the floor in thick layers. A single wooden chair sat in the center, facing the wall. And on that wall, deep, jagged scratches ran from floor to ceiling as if someone, or something, had tried to claw its way out. I stepped closer. The floorboards creaked beneath my weight. That's when I heard it, a whisper, soft, childlike, almost melodic. "I see you." The voice wasn't coming from anywhere visible. It was everywhere. I spun around, but the room was empty. The chair, the scratches, nothing moved. I laughed nervously and told myself I was imagining things. But as I backed toward the door, the whispers grew louder, overlapping. Multiple voices now, all saying the same thing in a distorted harmony. "Stay. Stay with me." My heart pounded. I turned to leave, but the door slammed shut on its own. The room felt alive, breathing. Shadows stretched across the walls like hands reaching for me. I ran to the window, but it was nailed shut. I could hear footsteps behind me, slow and deliberate, circling the chair. Then I saw it. A small figure, pale and translucent, hovered above the floor. Its eyes were black voids, and it grinned wide and unnatural. It moved toward the wall, tracing the scratches with long, clawed fingers. The whispers became a roar. I bolted for the door, throwing my weight against it. It opened. I didn't look back as I ran down the stairs, the sound of countless footsteps echoing after me. I locked the door to that room from the outside. I slept downstairs that night, but I couldn't shake the feeling I was being watched. Weeks later, when my uncle came home, I asked about the room. He went pale. "That room, it's not storage," he whispered. "It's someone's trap, a soul trapped there long ago. People who go in, they don't always come out the same." I thought I understood what he meant until last night. I was in my room when I heard the scratching again, soft, deliberate, coming from above the garage, and a whisper floated under my door. "Come back. We're waiting." I had just finished a late shift at the diner and decided to stop at the small 24-hour gas station on the highway. It was dead silent, no cars, no people, just the hum of the neon sign flickering above the pumps. As I pulled in, I noticed the door to the mini-mart was wide open, though the lights inside were dim and swaying as if moved by an invisible hand. I shrugged it off as the wind and stepped out. I started fueling up my car when I heard a voice from inside the store. "Hey, can you help me?" A man's silhouette appeared in the shadows of the doorway. He was tall, thin, and completely still, except for his eyes, glowing faintly in the darkness. Something about him felt wrong. I shook my head. "I'm just filling up my car," I said. But the voice persisted, echoing strangely, almost like it came from all directions. Suddenly, all the pumps started clicking on and off by themselves. The numbers on the displays jumped wildly and the lights flickered violently. A cold wind swept through the station, though the night was perfectly still. Then I saw him, or them. Figures, barely visible, appearing behind the glass of the mini-mart, pressing against the windows, staring at me with hollow, black eyes. They weren't moving normally. They twisted, elongated, and flickered in and out of existence. I ran to my car, heart hammering. As I started the engine, the pumps violently shook, and the neon sign went out, plunging the station into darkness. Then the voice whispered again, right into my ear, "You'll never leave. You're the last customer." I floored it down the highway, but in the rearview mirror, I saw them. Dozens of dark, twisting figures filling the lot, eyes glowing, and shadows crawling along the ground like living things. Even now, when I drive past that stretch of road, I see the faint neon flickering, and I can feel those hollow eyes, watching, waiting for the next last customer. I never considered late-night drives dangerous until one night I stopped at a gas station on the outskirts of town. It was around 2 in the morning, and the only light came from the flickering lamps above the pumps. I pulled up to the pump, filling my tank in silence. The place was deserted, just the wind whistling across the asphalt, making my hair stand on end. As I finished pumping, I noticed a figure wearing a mask at the next pump. Their face was hidden, movement slow and oddly mechanical. They were holding something but didn't move closer. I tried to ignore it and got back into my car. Just as I sat down, I heard a metallic scraping sound, like someone banging on the pump next to me. My heart raced. Then I noticed the numbers on the pump across from me were changing on their own, as if gasoline was somehow pouring from my tank into the empty one beside me. I blinked, and the numbers froze. Suddenly, my car died. Every light on the station flickered, and the masked figure began to glow faintly. They raised a hand slowly toward me. Fear sliced through my chest like a knife. I tried to start the car, but the engine wouldn't respond. Then I heard a whisper crackling through the radio. "You're not alone, and you'll never leave." My heart pounded. My hands trembled. Somehow, I managed to start the engine and ripped away from the station. When I looked back, it was empty, and the masked figure was gone. Since that night, whenever I pass a gas station at night, I sometimes hear faint scraping sounds, like someone is banging on the pumps, and a flickering light where no one should be standing.